はい、こんばんは。聞こえますか？聞こえるかな？こんばんは。今、ネットの調子は大丈夫かな？ちょっと待ってくださいね。OK。はい、聞こえてますか？こんばんは。大丈夫かな？はい。Thank you for coming to ライチュク Online Live Lesson today. 今日は3月17日水曜日です。皆さん、こんばんは。よかった。聞こえてる。こんばんは。Today's lesson is about the power of radical. ありがとう。Today's lesson is about the power of radical. You want to use this method when you study kanji. I'm gonna show you the reason why. Okay? Do you know how many kanji you need to study for your JLPT test for each level? I'll show you how. JLPT の N5 は80 to 100漢字。80から100の漢字を勉強しなければいけません。で、N4 は、N4 は160の漢字を勉強します。So N500, let's say 100. So when you are studying N4, altogether 260, 260です。Up until from 260, you can study kanji. Kanji are easier than N3 and N2. Okay, so these kanji, you can use the method pictograph, which is the kanji kind of looks like the picture, so it's easy to connect the information and memorize. You can use this method when you study kanji, when you were N5 level. But when you go into N4, pictograph wouldn't work because these kanji is only 10 to 20% of all the kanji you learn. That's why pictograph doesn't work. That's why I showed you how to memorize kanji by creating that story out of the kanji. That will work here. But what happened is N3 level, you need to study new 370 kanji. That's a big jump from here to here. That's why you need to know the power of radical. Okay? Then N2, if your dream is get the job in Japan, live in Japan, you want to get to the N2 level in your Japanese level. And then N2 also another new 370 kanji altogether. So from here to here, you have to learn close to 1,000 kanji. Yes, it's a long way. That's why, so from here, you need to use this method to memorize kanji. That's today's lesson is about. You will find out how you can maximize this power of radical. So that's why today's lesson is about. And if you are in the N5 level, I already completed N5 kanji playlist. So you can go into, I will put the link in the information box later so that you can check. And then also if you are in the N4 level, I completed the N4 level kanji playlist as well so that you can learn through my kanji tutorial video. I will put the link in the box later, information box later. Okay, so today's lesson. What is radical? Radical, and the definition of radical is that it's a part of the kanji that tells you the information that related to the meaning of the kanji. I'll say it again. The radical is the part of the kanji tells you the information of meaning of the kanji, the information related to the meaning of the kanji. Okay, so for example, like this kanji as a whole, that's the kanji, right? When you study kanji, you see as just the kanji itself. But previous lesson, we studied that you can see the kanji as a part. Each part has different parts. Then put it together, one kanji, right? So in this case, this part, we call it radical. This radical tells us something about the kanji, meaning of the kanji. This radical means person, hito. So now we know that, this kanji meaning something related to a person. Okay? Then we have the tree here, right? So like I said, creating the story, this kanji means to rest, yasumu. So we create the story out of the kanji, the person next to the tree resting, right? So yasumu. That's how we learn when you study kanji, so that it's easier to memorize. Today is all about it's not all the radical, but I'm going to show you how radical can help you when you study kanji. Also, when you take the JLPT test, kanji part, it helps a lot. Even though you are not entry level now yet, you can still try to see how the radical works. So today's lesson, I'm going to share 3 important steps to be able to use this power of radical. And after that, we will try the JLPT test to see how you can use this power. Okay, let's start. So there are 3 things you need to know. Number 1 is you need to be able to see the kanji as these 6 patterns. There are only 6 patterns. This is the basic pattern. Whenever you see the kanji from now on, especially the complicated kanji, so many lines, try to see the kanji, which pattern is it? I'm sorry, this way. Which pattern is it? Okay, for example, when you see this kanji, which pattern is this? It's right and left. See? Then you can start to see, one part is this kanji and one part is this kanji. That's very important, because if you don't see this kind of eyes, you cannot find radical. And if you cannot find radical, you don't know what that means. Okay, so the part 1, you need to be able to see the kanji as pattern like this. So right and left, pattern 1. And when you see this, which pattern is it? It's here, corner and the other part, corner and the other part. What about this one? This one is top and bottom, up and down. Okay, this pattern. And when you see this kanji, which one is it? This one, right? It's like an entrance door, entrance gate, something like that. That's the pattern. When you see this kanji, which pattern is it? Yes, inside of the box, right? When you see this kanji, which pattern is it? It's here, upper corner and other part. So when you are able to see the kanji pattern like this, then you are able to spot. Oh, that's the radical. Okay, so the first one is that you need to be able to see the kanji, one of these patterns. We call it Lego block method. Okay, to see the kanji as a part, each part, and then put it together becomes new kanji. Okay, and 80% of kanji is made like this. Okay. Point two is you need to know what the radical is, the meaning of the radical. I'm gonna show you with that example. For example, when you see this kanji, this is the two right and left pattern, right? And then this is the radical. This tells me the meaning of the kanji. This means water. Mizu. So now you know every time you see the kanji with this part radical, tells you, oh, this is something related to water. That's good. The second one is this. When you see this kanji, the pattern is that, right? And then this word tells me the meaning of the kanji or related to the kanji. This means plants or plants like a weed and flowers, right? And then this kanji means flower, actually. By the way, this kanji means ocean, umi, so it makes sense. Umi, there's a lot of water, so it makes sense. This kanji means hana, flower, and then the radical means something related to plants, so it makes sense. And this kanji pattern is the bottom corner, right? And then this is the radical. This radical called shinyo. Shinyo, it's a weird name, shinyo. But this radical means road. And this kanji means michi. So it makes sense. Road, it has a road, and the kanji meaning is michi, so it makes sense. So here is, and then other example, this is the kanji itself. It's mean gate. That's also the radical, right? And then this kanji means aida, which means the space, right? So when you think about it, when you have a gate and then sun goes up, you kind of see the sunlight in between the gate. So I created the story with the radical meaning and the other part so that it makes it easy for me to memorize. Oh, the gate, between the gate, I see the sunlight. So it's aida, space, something like that. So the gate, and then this kanji means country. And then the radical is the outside of the bigger box. This radical means border or area. So it shows the country is, you have the border and it's a country. So it makes sense that this radical helps me to memorize or to retrieve the information by looking at the radical. Remember this? We did this last time. This one, this kanji means sickness, okay? And then this part, this radical tells me that it's sick. The meaning is sick. So whenever I see the kanji with this radical, something related to the sickness, okay? So now you know how radical can help you to memorize, or even though you don't know the kanji yet, but still radical kind of give you the hint. Oh, this related to something about the water, something about the plants, something about the road. See? All right. All right. So on the Instagram, I post one question. I'll show you how radical works. 泣いています。泣いています。So I want you to think which kanji we use. 泣いています. There are two kanji for crying. One kanji is this. Let's say it's A. And the other kanji is this. So 泣いています。泣いています. When we write the sentence, when we text the sentence, we put the hiragana first, then we choose the kanji because it shows you the selection. And then you have two options, which one you should use. The question is, who is crying? Question is, who is crying? If I say, 子供が泣いています。赤ちゃんが泣いています。男の子が泣いています。When it's the human, when I look at it, the radical is this one and this one because it's a two-part. And then one radical I know it's water, right? And then one radical is mouth, right? And then when I look at this one, this kanji means the word, tori, tori, so it's animal. So when I say, 赤ちゃんが泣いています。男の子が泣いています。私が泣いています。It's the human. When human cries, we have tears, right? And tears is water. So when we say human is crying, we use a kanji here with the water mark. Then, when I say, meow, meow, oh, my cat, 私の猫が泣いています making noise, the 犬が whoa, 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 泣いています When the animal crying, we use here. By the way, we call 猫が鳴く、犬が泣いているです So when we say the animal is crying, we use this kanji. We can do that now because we know the radical meaning. This is how important to know the radical meaning. It helps you when you study, especially the like a complicated kanji, the advanced level kanji. It really helps. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce a few radicals that you probably know because the radical actually came from the basic kanji, which is the N5 kanji. It's very simple. For example, this one means person. We already went over this. And then if you have extra line with the E, this means moving slow or steps, okay? So it makes sense when you have this one because it's good moving slow or you go because that it has this meaning, okay? Next one is this. This part radical means the day, the sun, or time, something related to time. And then we go over this related to the road. And when you see this radical, this related to building. Okay. When you see the radical heart, it's easy, something related to the feeling or hurt, right? But this can transform to this and this. They are the same meaning. The heart is the bottom is shaped like this, but heart come to here, it transformed to this one. It's not the small, it actually means heart. So whenever you see the kanji with this radical, something related to the feelings. When you take a look at it, it's something related to the feelings. Okay, so that helps. And when you see this radical, this means hands, something related to the hands. It's not the o, it's going like this. Okay, that's difference. Anything else? Oh, so when you see this, that's something related to the little girl or female. When you see this, something related to the earth or soil. When you see the kanji here, this means power, power, 力. When you see this, it's a plant. When you see this radical, this means bamboo, because you probably know this kanji from N5 level. This becomes that, then tells us that it's something related to bamboo. So it's very important you master the N5 level. I call it basic kanji, 80 kanji. Most of them becomes the radical. That's why N5 level, I say really say, know the meaning, remembering the shapes very well, so that it will help you in the long run. Now you know. Okay. So that's the step number 2. Know the radical meaning and know the radical shapes. Step 3, this is kind of bonus information that you can use very, very good in a way. So when you see the radical here, now you know the radical meaning. What the other part is doing? Actually, the other part is telling you the sound. Yes. And that's something you don't really know. So this is your lucky day. I will show you how it works. So step 3, the other part tells you the sound of the kanji. For example, this kanji means tera. You might know as in otera, which means temple, right? So tera is the kun reading. And then on reading is ji. This kanji means temple. Kun reading is tera, on reading is ji. By the way, why we have 2 readings? Because before we have kanji, before we learn kanji from China, we have our own language, which is Japanese. We have the language, but we did not have the letters like kanji or hiragana. We did not have that letter until we learned kanji from China. So we have the word tera as in temple. When we learn kanji from China, introduce this kanji mean temple. This kanji sound is ji, right? So we adapt this kanji and sound. Then, oh, this kanji mean temple. We have the name for it. It's tera. That's why, so let's say we use this kanji and then we use the sound ji that we learn. Then also let's read kanji as tera as well. That's why Japanese language, some kanji has 2 way of reading it, which is kun reading and on reading. Kun reading is the Japanese word we adapted to this kanji. So oftentimes when you look at the dictionary, kun reading is hiragana, right? And then the on reading, on the dictionary, we write it in katakana, because katakana word were used for the foreign word. We borrow the foreign word and then to let them know we use the katakana. That's why on reading is written in katakana and then kun reading is hiragana, by the way. Okay, back to the radical and sound. So this means tera, this sounds ji and tera. And then when we have the other kanji, remember the radical means hands, and borrow here. This kanji means to hold something. Motsu, to hold something. Motsu, right? And then now I know that because this radical tells me something related to the hand, and then the meaning is motsu, motsu. And that's kun reading, motsu. What about the on reading of this kanji? It's actually ji, ji. So what happened is the kanji with the radical, the other part, oftentimes, not the 100%, but oftentimes shows you the sound of the kanji. So now this kanji doesn't mean teller in this kanji. This kanji meaning is to have, to hold something. This part is there for the sound. This kanji is there for the sound. So that when the radical have here, the other part tells you the on sound, on reading sound. Ji. Another example. Okay. This radical means time, the sun, right? And this kanji means ji, time, right? Toki, time. The reading is ji, ji. So this kanji means time. The radical tells us the time. The sound, the other side, telling us the sound on reading ji. So if you are having a hard time remembering the on reading, especially because now we have 3 kanji reading same ji. But now we know the difference because we know the radical meaning. See? Okay, another example. Even though you don't know the kanji, now you can read the kanji now. For example, another example. This kanji sound is N. N. Okay? N. And do you recognize this kanji? This kanji means far, far, toi, toi. That's N2, N4 level kanji, N4, N5 kanji, toi, toi. This kanji's on reading is N, N. Yes, now you know, right? What about this one? This kanji reading is also N, N. We call this kanji for 動物園, 公園. Sorry. 公園, 公園. It makes sense because 公園 has the territory, and then 動物園 also has the border. So it makes sense. One more thing. Do you know what this kanji means? 2-part, right? Reading is N, N. This means saru, monkey, monkey. And then this radical means animal or beast, animal. So it makes sense. This is something related to animal. And then the kanji means saru, saru. On reading is N, N. So that's the secret number 3. If you know the radical, the other parts tells you the sound of the kanji. Not the 100%, but most of the time. And we use on reading when the kanji is together with other kanji. We call it compound kanji. For example, this kanji itself, saru, saru, right? But when we say saru to hito together, one kanji, we don't say saru hito, we said en, engine, 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 which means ape, engine. Okay. All right. So there's 3 points. One, you need to see the kanji as a pattern like this. And second, know the radical meaning. It helps. And the third point is the other part tells you the sound of the kanji. Now it's time to apply this power of radical method to the real life solving problem, like on the JLPT test. Okay, this is from N3, N4 prep test, mock test. So can you read? カタカナ大丈夫かな？パスポートを持ってきてください。パスポートを持ってきてください。So which one is the correct answer using the power of radical? Can you type the answer if you can? Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 choices. So パスポートを持ってきてください。持って is to bring here. 持ってくる。So 持つ something related to the hand. So something related to the hand. So when you see those kanji, そうです。合ってます。When you see the kanji, this kanji doesn't have any radical, and we know that this is tempo, so it's not correct. And then now we see 3 kanji with the radicals. This kanji means to go or walk slow. This radical means the time. This kanji means it's the hand. So even though you don't know the meaning of the kanji or you don't recognize the kanji, you can guess it may be 4. And the answer is 4. 持ってきてください. Yeah, that's how you use. So next one. これ。地図を見ながら歩いています。地図を見ながら歩いています。地図 is a map. 地図 is a map. So which one is the correct answer? Using the power of radical method. Yep, that's right. So now you have 土、土曜日, and then radical, no radical with the radical, right? And then this one, do doesn't make sense. Soil doesn't make sense. This one without the radical, these two has radicals, right? And then now we know the meaning of the radical. This radical means water. This radical means it's the land or the earth. When we talk about the map, we are not looking at the water, we are looking at the land. So the answer is 2. This. Now, this is how you can use the power of radical when you take the test. When the kanji showed up that you don't know, you can still guess using the knowledge of radical. Good, good. Next one. 暑くなってきました。暑くなってきました。1. With the radical with bamboo. 2. No radical. 3. The radical with the sun. 4. The radical with the eyes. 暑くなってきました。暑くなってきました。そうです。So, 暑くなってきました. That's the JLPT test you to choose the right one. That they want to know that you know the meaning of the kanji, you can read it, and then now they give you the similar kanji to trick you. Similar kanji to trick you. Because all of the choices has the same part, right? Same part. Now you know that you can pay attention to the radical. This means bamboo. This means the sun or time. This means actually eyes. Then it's talking about the hot, 暑い, 暑い, and the sun. When you have the sun, it's hot. So you can guess, even though if you don't know the kanji. That's the power of radical. The answer is 3. Yes, everyone doing good. So this. Next question. 2 more ね。観光客がいます。観光客がいます。観光客 is tourist. 観光客 is tourist. Each choices has the same two ending. So now you know you just need to pay attention to the first kanji. And then all 3 kanji has the same part. Then these parts are different. So you think which one is 観光客. What does 観光客 do? They do sightseeing. They do the sightseeing. 観光客 do the sightseeing. Seeing, you need 目. You need to see. 見る. 見る. So the answer, so this one has, this means yearning. This means yearning. This means power. This means power. And this kanji means to see, to look. So the answer is number 2. 観光客. 観光客. Even though you don't know the kanji, you can guess by looking at the parts of the kanji to help you find the to get the good guess. The last one. 最後です。先生の家をする。先生の家をする。Choices are 音門、片門、尋問、訪問。Now we need to use the third point. That the other part tells you the sound. I'll explain. This kanji means to visit, to visit. To visit someone, to visit some places, okay? And then the reading for the kun reading is 訪れると尋ねるです。訪れると尋ねる is the kun reading. That's why they have 音、門、尋問. That's the reason why they have 2 choices here. 音、門、尋問. Because kun reading is 訪ず、尋. Then, this kanji means something related to the language. Then this part tells you the on reading. And this kanji's on reading is ほ. Okay? And remember, when we have 2 kanjis together, which one do we use? On reading. When the 2 kanjis together or more than 2 kanjis together, the compound kanji word, most likely we use on reading. So the answer is そうです。4番、訪問する。先生の家を訪問する。訪問する。And now, why we have a kata? Because this kanji kun reading is kata. This kanji's kun reading is kata. That's why they have kata, ho, and otozu, tazuneru, as in this kanji's kun reading. And these questions are from this kanji's kun reading and on reading. All right, so now you experience the power of radical. What you need to do is, 1, you need to start to see the kanji as this. What part of pattern is this? when you learn new kanji from now on. And then pay attention to the radical and radical meaning. Then next is the other part tells you the story. Most likely the other part is the one that you already know. Or if you don't know something, you look it up and the sound might be the same. So it's like a two birds with one stone. You learn one kanji, but you also learn the other kanji's sound. That's the power of radical. You need to go, your dream is, if you want to get to the N2 level, you have to remember the 1,000 kanji. So this method will help you to get there. That's why I wanted to share this knowledge today with you. That's all for today. Thank you for showing up today. ありがとうございます。If this was very helpful to you, please hit the like button so that I can keep going. The like button helps me a lot. お願いします。like ボタン、ありがとうございます。like ボタンお願いします。And then let me know what topic you want me to do the live lesson so that I know what to do next. And I will post next live lesson information on my Instagram so that you know when I will be here. ありがとうございます。All right. So if you're learning kanji, I have N5 kanji playlist completed. So please check. And then if you are learning N4 kanji, I also finished that playlist. So it's all N4 kanji in that playlist. And I start posting the N3 level kanji with the new method so that you can learn N3 kanji with me through my video tutorial漢字 tutorial video. Okay. それでは今日はこれで終わりです。ありがとうございました。また次会うこと楽しみにしてます。さようなら。ありがとう。